go new high from here, get ready to look for the buys. This is a super important zone, and you have to be able to flick the switch like any good trader or an investor at this point. Super interesting times for crude moving forward. Of course, Netflix, decent earnings. Well, not decent, better than expected. It doesn't take much to be better than expected when you drop from $700 price all the way down to $165. For people that have been accumulating here, I totally don't blame them. We talked about it in the Monday live stream that we do. If you're ever interested, subscribe. We do Monday live streams. And of course, we have private live streams pre-market. If you're interested in the links in the description down below. But this is nice accumulation. Great kind of weekly close last week. Things looking good. And we closed, well, we've got a aftermarket sitting at about 217, which is basically breaking out of this accumulation. So is it time for Netflix to go up? Well, they've got a new strategy to deal with all those people, those pesky people out there that are sharing their family licenses with 100 people or whatever they're doing. And will it work? I'm not too sure, but certainly the base seems to be looking quite nice here on the charts. Apple, a barometer of the health of the US market in some ways, is back at resistance after that sell-off. A few big stocks, Google, Apple, Amazon, they're starting to make waves, but they're not really necessarily coming with the market fully here. Probably look towards Apple still rallying. Hopefully it can hit something like a 156-ish before earnings. And if that happens, of course, that will mean the SP 500 is continuing to move up, which we'll look at in just a few moments. Go over to the European market. Big, strong candle. Wow. Double bottom in play. Straight into that resistance we theorized. What a trade. I mean, especially if you got it through this high here and you just rallied through that session, that was amazing. Really nice work, guys. This was the low. Of course, we've hit this resistance. If we breach that, any pullback you'd probably think is going to be met by buy demand for now. Maybe we go to fill this gap just above 13.6. So that would put you in at around 13.7 to 13.8 would be the target here. Need to get a little bit higher, hopefully pull back, then movement into that area. So yes, the German market and other markets around the world seeing some nice buying. Makes sense. The US dollar's weakening, money's coming out and going into assets. Dow Jones, what's going on there? Nice breakout. Not quite new high yet, but certainly consistent. Maybe this is a bit of a spring. Huge movement up. It's left behind what we call an island style trade, which is, you know, usually a very impulsive kind of move, usually filled with kind of very fast action and then pullbacks later. Not too much to talk about with the Dow here, but it is improving. IWM at the trend line, so small caps doing well. Trend line here, like to see that broken. Further rally could be in order. Remember, there's a gap here between these two ranges, so that's certainly something that a lot of people are looking for. And it's looking much, much better than it did in the last couple of days. Move over to the NASDAQ. This is the one that had the tweezer kind of low. We had the doji, we had the wicks coming off these defended zones, and the NASDAQ is outperforming. It's filled that last gap. It looks like it's broken out with a close above. And even if it weakens in the next session, it looks like this is kind of trying to press towards the 12.8. We've got a big trend line here on the NAS, and this could be worthwhile watching. For bulls to really be committed into this stock, they're going to have to, or into this index, they're going to have to push through the previous support, previous resistance area of 13,000, move through, and then ideally, it will pull back, allowing the buyers to come in. We have not got through a massive hurdle yet for the NASDAQ. So we could easily do kind of this. Take that out quickly and then reverse. Wouldn't that be an ultra bull trap? Whew, that would be big. We'll be following along, so make sure to subscribe if you're interested in finding out more information about that. S&P 500, really nice. Wicks off the defended zone. I think we've been on top of this as a community. Well done to you guys out there. Nice big bullish move here. 39.36, strong day. Did a huge day on the S&P. Can it continue it up? Well, hopefully. This is the weekly. Weekly 20 sitting around. Just remember this 41 kind of 20. Probably will be 4,100 by the time we might get up there. What is the current target a lot of people have? It's the gap fill. Filling this over here. So a lot of people are trying to target in basically the stock market moving back to 4,015. If that occurs, well, then could the sellers come in here? Yes. But the ultimate trap we'll be talking about in tomorrow's video, because I've got other plans that have to do with this little level here, and we'll bring in some cross analysis there on this. So at this stage, looks pretty good. If we scroll down, actually we'll use the futures for this. If we have a look at what's really happening here, the market has broken through the downward trend line, down, breach. There's no way you cannot see that as a breach now from a technical analyst standpoint. Pullbacks, say 3,900. Let's say we get back down there. You would think buyers will come back in to try to show commitment towards this, move towards that 4,020 area, which is where we have the gap fill, and possibly even further up to that 20 moving average sitting around 4120. We'll talk about all the scenarios as we see the next couple of days unfold. I'm going to be very interested to see how Tesla ends up doing things. We'll move over to the big one, the big crypto, Bitcoin, broken through, bodes well. We've broken the supply and it looks like Bitcoin's on the improvement trail. Will it hit 26? Will it hit 28? Most people are kind of saying, well, if the stock market keeps rallying, what would make sense for something like Bitcoin? Maybe up to like a 27.5, hit this level, and then potentially move on down. That could be certainly a very, very key thing. This is a good breakout here for Bitcoin. Hard to think it's false. It's coming with the stock market. Volumes improved. And I did actually miss out on showing you guys Ethereum the other day, but Ethereum led here. It broke out of a very nice hold pattern. A few people messaged me and said, Tom, why aren't you talking about Ethereum? Yeah, fair enough. It was a nice breakout. And if you got this trade, well done. ETH outperforming BTC. Pretty rare for it to do this actually, but nice volumes down below. Again, it looks like crypto's having a little bit of a run on it. Possibly sell-offs will be met by buy demand as the sentiment improves here, but don't be fooled. This doesn't mean we're out of recession, we're out of all the traps of the market just yet. It's the beginning of something that could be a really great opportunity if you know what you're doing. And it also could be the low for something like the NASDAQ. You never know if we printed that actually a little while ago. Remember, NASDAQ tends to print early. I don't know if it has. Time will tell. Follow us here on the channel to find out more. In terms of information coming out, if you're interested in following us, come over and follow us at FX Evolution on Twitter. You'll notice here we posted on Pelosi the other day. I will have some new posts today, but she's doing well. Those NVIDIA positions, nice. It must pay to have information from certain sources. Anyway, let's move over to what else is happening this week. Friday the 22nd, we have the Flash Services PMI for the US. It's mostly down to earnings. And of course, we also have another big one. Do remember, Thursday, 8:45 a.m. New York time, ECB press conference. If you're interested in continuing to follow us, remember to subscribe, smash that like button, and remember, for especially the Australian viewers out there, if you want to get access to Tiger Brokers, there's a special offer down below, 20 free Zip stocks. Who knows the potential of how big Zip could become once again. So if you're interested, check it out. See you soon, guys.